Hi, this is Scott with eTrailer. Today we're taking a look at and installing our Redarc Tow-Pro Link brake controller on our 2023 Jeep Gladiator. The Redarc Link brake controller we have in our Gladiator today is definitely one of the better brake controllers that I've ever installed here at eTrailer. And if I was going to get a brake controller, and I do plan on getting one eventually, this is definitely going to be the one that I'm going to go with. I've been doing this for a long time, and I've dealt with a lot of different brake controllers and installed a lot of different brake controllers. This one is by far the easiest one that I've had to deal with, and that goes from the installation itself all the way up to working with the remote itself and the modes that it has. It just checks all the boxes for what I'm looking for in a brake controller. Now, what I like about this is how easy this is to deal with and how easy it is to not have it in my way. A lot of your older style brake controllers, you're going to have a great big box down here sticking out. You're going to have wires coming out of the bottom of it. You're going to have a mount that you're going to have to screw in to the panels of your Jeep or whatever you're putting it on. And a lot of them, you're going to have to drill holes. You're going to have to run a lot of wires. You're going to have a lot of setup involved just to get your brake controller. And that's going to be a permanent setup that's going to be right there. I've noticed that you can hit your legs on it once in a while. With this is simple. When I'm not towing with it, all I have to do is unplug it from my USB, and I can put this away. I can put it in my center console in my glove box until I'm ready to use it. And you can't even tell that I have a brake controller in here. When I am ready to use it, all I have to do is just plug it in to my USB and I'm all set. So we have our vehicle running, and if we want to change modes, you can see we have it in the blue mode now. That's our proportional mode. What you want to do is hold down on your brake and then hold in on your plus and minus for 5 seconds. That's going to go green, then we can release our brake. Now this is going to be our off-road mode. What's nice about this is, say we're out off-roading and we're overlanding and we're in some rough terrain. Say we get into some sand, a little bit of mud. What we can do here is we can back down our settings on our remote. And what that's going to do for us is when we use our brakes on our truck, what's going to happen is it's not going to make our trailer back there act like an anchor and dig into the sand or dig into the mud. It's going to lessen the impact of our brakes back there. Now, say we're in an area where we're going down some steep inclines, maybe a mountainous area or something like that, and we're off-road. What we can do is we can turn that setting up, and once we do that, say we're going down a hill, we can use our brakes on our trailer to help slow our ascent going down a hill. That's a really nice feature with these for people that do a lot of overlanding or spend a lot of time off-road, maybe boondocking with their little camper on the back. So this is a really nice setup. So after we're done with our adventures off-road, we want to get back into proportional mode and hit the highway. All we're going to do is just hit our brake, push down on our plus and minus, hold that down for 5 seconds. It's going to go back to blue. Now we're all set to get back on the road. Now, one thing I like about this as well is, say we're going down the road and our trailer back there, we get by an 18-wheeler or something, or it's windy and we start getting trailer sway. All we have to do is hit our manual button here, and that's going to help pull out that swaying of our trailer by activating our trailer brakes. Now, if you have any questions or comments about this Redarc brake controller for your Jeep, you can always leave a question or comment down below in the comments section, or you can get a hold of one of our experts here at eTrailer. They'd be glad to help you out. Now, as far as installation goes for this, it's really simple, and it's something you could definitely do yourself. But if it's something you don't have time to do, you can always take a look at our dealer locator and get something done for you locally. If it's something you feel like tackling yourself, stick around, watch our video, and we'll help you get it installed. To start our installation, we're at the back of our Jeep Gladiator, and I did take our spare tire down just to give us a little more room and make it a little bit easier for you guys to see what we've got going on under here. Now, what we've got is we have here is our main module, and this is what's going to transmit our Bluetooth signal. So what we need to do is we're going to have our two ends on here. We're going to have our male and female ends, and those are going to plug right in to our wiring that is pre-existing on the back of our Gladiator. So one of the things I like to do first is try and figure out where I want to get this to mount. We want to get this mounted in a location where it's not going to get a bunch of debris hitting it all the time, rocks and whatever, saying you're doing off-road things. Now this is going to be waterproof, and weather resistant, but you just don't want a bunch of rocks and stuff chipping this up. And another thing, when we mount this, we want this to be in a location where we can have it solidly mounted, where it's not moving around at all. That way it's going to maintain calibration. It's not going to have to reset itself all the time. So up underneath of our vehicle, another thing you want to keep in mind is you kind of want to get it in the middle the best you can. This can be mounted in any orientation except for with the cord facing up. Now, as far as orientation goes, I've decided I'm going to go with the wire pointing towards the back. That way I'm going to have enough room to reach where my plug is here in the back. That's another thing. You want to kind of mock it up before you get it put in place and make sure everything's going to reach where it needs to go. Another thing nice about this location is this is where my spare tire is going to live, and it's going to allow me to run my wire over these cross members that come up, and it's going to be protected by the tire and also my cross members here. Now the area where I'm going to put this, I want to rub this down with some alcohol. Let's get it nice and clean so it sticks well. I'm going to go ahead and get the back as well on my module. Get that cleaned up, dry those off. Now your kit will come with your little alcohol pads, but I had some alcohol in a rag, so I just used that. Now in your kit, you're also going to have these little double stick tabs, and you're going to see on the back of here where it shows you to put the tape. That's just going to help hold it in place and kind of cut down on vibration. So what we'll do is we'll just get those stuck in place here. Now we'll just pull off the protecting paper off the back of that. Now for this, where I'm going with this, I'm going to have to use a couple ties together. So I'm just going to get a couple of my wire ties stuck together before I go putting them in place. What I want to do now is I'm just going to run my plastic ties up through, and when I get those up through my holes and through the top of my hat channel, other tie connected there. The reason I'm having to double them up is because our hat channel is so wide. But with our sticky tape on there, it's going to give us a really solid mounting, and it's not going to have any vibration. It's going to maintain calibration, which is what we really are looking for. Pull our ties tight. And that's going to be a really solid mount. Now I'll just trim off my ends. Then we'll get everything hooked up back in the rear of our bumper. Now on the back of our bumper, we're going to have our 7-way plug-in, and what we want to do is there's going to be a little clip, and we just want to push down on the little tab and wiggle that around, get that to pop out. Now sometimes you're going to have a little bit of dirt and debris up in there, so you just wiggle a little bit, and it makes it a little bit easier to come out, tap out any of your dust and dirt that's in there. Now we're going to have our wiring harness for our module here, and we just want to pop up this little clip. It has a little lock on there. Push up on that little clip, Now, one thing I like to do is, since this vehicle will be used in off-road applications once in a while, is put a little dielectric grease up in all of our little terminals. That's just going to give us a little bit of corrosion protection on our terminals if they get a little moisture in there. I'll put that in all of our ends on both sides. Now we'll come back through and just plug in. Make sure you have your plastic little whitish colored clip pulled back. Click that into position. You'll hear an audible click. Push in your little lock. Now on this other side, we're just going to line up where our latch is here and where our latch will fit into this little square side. Click that together. Got our click. Give it a little pull. Make sure we have a good connection on both of those, and we do. Now we'll just tie up our wiring up out of the way. Now we're inside of our vehicle and we have our remote. Now there's a couple things you can do with this. You can either just have it where you can plug it into your USB, or it does come with some sticky strips that you could put on the back and have it on your dash somewhere. Today we're going to not be putting on our sticky strips and sticking it to the dash because I'm not really sure where my neighbor wants it. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and plug this into our USB port. This is going to come already prepared, so we don't have to worry about that. Now, if you were getting a replacement remote, you would have to pair that, but ours comes prepared. Now, what we're doing now is we see that we do have power to it, and it's going to blink green and blue. So what that means is we need to take it for a little bit of a drive, and we're going to get our box in the back to basically get adjusted to where it's at, and it's going to basically calibrate it, and then we'll be all set to use our setup. But for now, I do have a trailer brake tester on the back hooked up, and I can see that when I do push on my brakes that I am getting LEDs, and that is showing that our remote is working. So what I'll do now, I'll just take it for a little drive, and we'll make sure that we get everything calibrated. Now, we did drive quite a bit to get it to calibrate, but now we can see that our remote is no longer blinking and it is a solid blue. That means we are in our proportional mode, and that is our standard for towing a trailer normal on the highways and roads. We have everything calibrated. We've got our spare put back up, and it doesn't interfere with our wiring at all. Now, keep in mind, if you don't like using your remote all the time, you can also get the app for this, and that works really well. That's one of the things I like is then you have two different options that you could use with that. That'll do it for our look at our Redarc Tow-Pro Link on our 2023 Jeep Gladiator. I'm Scott with eTrailer, and thanks for watching.